Hello, class. This is Professor McGuire, and I am going to talk to you about another set or series of assignments that you'll be doing in English 470. All righty, here we go. So this is going to be for our practicum checks. So the practicum checks are going to show up in weeks 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then the clinical field verification form will then happen in week 8. So let's take a look. So first of all, it's really important. You must have your fingerprint clearance card, and you will be required to complete 15 hours of practicum in a 6th through 12th grade English language arts classroom. So since this is English for secondary ed, these have to be completed in an ELA classroom, and there are 15 hours. So we just ask that you maybe try to spread those out over the time period that you're in this class. So your first one is the easiest one. It's practicum check number 1. And on the field experience or practicum check-in number 1 form, this will be put into Halo announcement. You can just download it and fill it out. Name of your mentor, the school and location, and then the contact information for that particular sponsor or mentor teacher. And then you just submit that to the submission box. During week 3, this is practicum check number 2, and the topic is on grammar, writing, and vocab strategies. So they are suggesting that you spend about 5 hours observing or interacting in that ELA classroom, and that you write 200 to 300 word reflection on the topic of grammar, writing, vocab. So they're looking for like a concrete strategy that you observed from your mentor teacher that kind of piqued your interest. You can describe how that writing, grammar, or vocab strategy was incorporated into the lesson. And what are you learning about teaching writing, grammar, and vocab that you maybe didn't know before? All right, so that's check number 2. In week number 5, week number 5, practicum check number 3. This is going to focus again on grammar, writing, vocab, but more specifically that uses technology. So again, we're wanting that 200 to 300 word reflection. Talk about those concrete writing, grammar, vocab strategies that did make use of technology. You can also consider in case you're observing in a classroom where maybe the mentor teacher doesn't do that. So if that's the case, what you could write about would be, what did you see or observe that you feel could have benefited from some kind of use of technology? And then also say, discuss what kind of strategies you would like to use in your future teaching practice. So for example, I teach 6th and 7th grade ELA, and we use no red ink for our grammar. It's really fun. The kids seem super engaged, but that's a use of technology specifically for grammar. Your next one is week number 6, and this is practicum check number 4. This is going to be more in line with assessments, so formative and summative. Again, 200 to 300 word reflection. Identify at least one formative and one summative assessment that is related to writing, grammar, and or vocab, and then how the data from those assessments would be used to inform future instruction. Now, if you don't necessarily get to observe either of these, then talk with the mentor teacher and ask how they would, use the grammar, the writing, or the vocab in an assessment, whether it's formative and or summative. And then you could also ask the mentor teacher how they would then use that data for future instruction. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the field verification form. So the field verification form is done after you've completed the 15 hours. There's not a form that I provide to you. The instructions will be in the Halo platform on that calendar. I've put it here in this slide deck so that you can kind of see how you would do it, but it does have a step-by-step on how you would get that filled out, submitted to the mentor teacher, and then it gets submitted to me. So I always recommend that you try to get this done a little bit earlier than that due date, because sometimes, teachers, we're really, really busy, and you can't just spring stuff on us and have us fill things out like in that last moment. So I recommend to my learners that you give a little bit of time so that the mentor teacher can get that filled out back to you so that you can submit it to me in time. right, that's all I've got for you as far as practicum checks and that field verification form are concerned. If you have questions, then just message me in the private forum. Have a great day. Bye-bye.